Father, have your way in this place. Touch, heal, set free, and deliver those that need to be healed, set free, and delivered, God. Move in a way that only you can, Father, is our prayer, God. Have your way in this service. We commit the fortitude of it into your hand, and everybody that need a touch from you, God, we declare that you're going to touch them today. Those that are watching online, you're going to touch them also, God. Let not one that's watching us in this presence right now leave the same way that they came into it, God. That a change happen. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Thank you. Amen. Hallelujah. Somebody shout out. Hallelujah. God is a good God. We are in our 26th week of this Kingdom series, and this is absolutely the last week of it. And those that have missed any segment of it is going to struggle because they missed it intentionally. And I'm only saying regardless. So this week we're going to deal with the kingdom principle of giving to a king. Amen? The kingdom principle of giving to a king. Giving to a king activates the king's obligation to demonstrate his glory and his power to the giver and to prove that he is a greater king than all of the kings. Giving to a king in his kingdom is the acknowledgement that all things belong to that king and the citizen is grateful. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to read that one. It's a giving to a king in his kingdom is the acknowledgement that all things belong to that king and the citizen is grateful. Because giving to a king is impossible since all things already belong to the king. The act of giving benefits the citizen more than the king. Thus, one should never come before a king empty-handed. Amen? When you read Kings chapter 10, verse 10.
1 Kings chapter 10, verse 10, and it reads, Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, spices in great quantity, and precious stones. There never again came such abundance of spices as the queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon.
You see? Now she was a ruler herself, but she came into a king's house and she understood the process that before I can talk to the king, I have to have a gift. Amen? Right. So in order for you to get something from God, and we all know that he's a king. Everybody say he's a king. It's universal all over the world. Everybody say he's a king. But nobody brings a gift to the king. You come to the house of the king and you come without a gift. Is he truly your king? We sing songs, all hail King Jesus. We declare that he's king, but we don't give him what already belongs to him. So in order for us to really experience the magnitude of kingdom life, you must first understand giving to a king. Amen? Hallelujah. Queen Sheba understood that she needed something from the king. And if you go back and read 1 Kings chapter 10, read the entirety, start from the beginning to the end, and you will get a vivid picture of where I am today and why I understand this kingdom culture the way that I understand it. You will find that somebody told her of the great wisdom of this great king. That God uses him in such a way that's unlike no one has ever been used by God before. Men from all over the world will come and hear the wisdom that God had put into this king. And they will pray, and they will pay great prices to hear this wisdom. Because they understood if I'm going to get something out of the king, then I have to present something to the king. You see? So when you cross over into a king's territory, you better have a gift in hand. Amen? That's why it's so important to understand the concept of giving to a king. See, I just told you, when you give to the king, you activate. Somebody say activate. Y'all know what activate is, right? Yeah. You activate the king's obligation to demonstrate his glory and power to the giver. You activate it. See, without you giving to the king, then that power is not activated. Making sense to you? So, and this, listen, this is the only place in the law of God where he tells you to try him at. He said, try me. Because he wants you to understand that I'm obligated when you activate this. When I turn that power switch on in here, the power is obligated to turn on. I'm trying to help you get this vivid picture. See, we want things, but in order to get things, you got to give things. Okay. Read that verse again.
1 Kings chapter 10, verse 10, and it reads, Then she gave the king 120 talents of gold, spices in great quantity, and precious stones. There never again came such abundance of spices as the queen of Sheba gave to the king Solomon.
She gave 120 talents of gold. She gave spices. The Bible says that no one has ever given spices like this ever again in history. Solomon became the richest king in the world to this day. He wasn't the richest man in the Bible, but he was the richest king that ever was. Because he had something that everybody wanted. And that was the wisdom of God. And in order for them to get the wisdom of God, they had to sow to give. Sheba needed something. The Bible didn't specifically say what she was looking for, but she knew that it cost something to give. And when she began to speak, go back and read it. When she began to speak, she began to tell the king. She said, I have heard of your great wisdom. She said, but they didn't even tell me half of it. When you go into the presence of God, he'll blow your mind. He exceeds your expectation. Well, I expected God to do this today, and wow, he blew my mind. You see? It just blew my mind. I told him what I wanted, and he went above and beyond. See, pretty much everybody in this room had that testimony. That he did exceedingly, abundantly above all. See, but you activate it by giving back to him. Something that already belonged to him. He said, listen, he said, the earth is mine. He said, the fullness of the earth is mine. He said, and they that dwell in it, mine. He said, the cattle on 1,000 hills, mine. The gold, the silver, mine. The diamonds, the rubies, the emeralds, the pearls, mine. Those vegetables that you love to eat, God said they're mine. That fish I like to eat, that chicken you like to eat, God said it's mine. He said you ought to show some gratitude and give me something for what you did. What did I do, God? You ate my food. You spent my money. You living in my house. You driving my car. gratitude. Hallelujah. See, the problem with many of us is that we think that we own things that belong to God. You cash that paycheck, you think that paycheck is yours. It's not yours. God said, everything you give me 10% of it. Then I work in a barber shop. So every haircut, I have to give God 10% of every haircut. And he tells me, you can live off of the rest, but if I need you to give it to somebody, you can't tell me no because it's not yours. If I am Lord, then that which I trust you in is not yours. The Bible said, out of the mouth of Jesus, Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is like a master leaving all of his treasures with his servants. And he go off to a far country. But when he come back, you see that you mishandled what he gave you. See, that tells you right there that you don't own anything. He trusted you with it. And when he came back to see what you did with it, he calls all of us wicked because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. So, Sheba needed something. You need something. We all need something. I asked God, I just told my wife, I asked God 2 weeks ago. I was watching a video by Dr. Miles Monroe, and in the video he said, you need to learn how to ask God for what you need. I'll say it the way he said it. He said, ask God, what do I need? God, what do I need? Not telling God what you want. You say, God, what do I need? Because he already knows. So now you ask him, God, what is it that I need? Because I don't want to ask for something that I don't need. So you know, so tell me what is it that I need, and then you fulfill it. Because you said that you will fulfill it. Oh my God. I asked God that question, and God said, you need some peace. I woke up this morning with so much peace. I said, God, thank you. He said, you needed some peace. See, you don't know what you need. None of us. We don't know what we need. We know exactly what we want, but we don't know what we need. So ask God, what do you need? And then when he tell you, say, Lord, fulfill it. Because he said, I'll supply the need. And when you sincerely ask the king to supply it, he will do it. But it costs to get it done. See, whenever God tells me something that I need, I automatically start sowing seed towards what I need. Because I know that the only way that I can get it is by giving to a king. True story. We needed God to do something for us. We took money out of our account and we sold it to her father because we needed God to do something. Am I telling the truth? And did not God do it? We sold it into him. We told God what we wanted. We gave it to his ambassador. Y'all got to know how to get blessed by God. Sometimes we can't stand before God because what's in us. So we need somebody else to take our gift to him. Oh my God. So in those days of Queen Sheba and all of that, see, you just couldn't anybody go into the presence of the king. You had to be of a certain status. But I'm so grateful that God said that I don't look at you. I look at the status of my son that's on you. See, that's why I can stand before you. Even in the sinful body, they're like, oh, look, Pastor, sinful. By nature, this body is sinful because Lucifer has trained this body to desire things that's contrary to God. That's why you have those thoughts. And you be like, Lord, why am I having these thoughts? It's because your body is trained for those thoughts. So you have to train your spirit to be in more control of your body. See, when your spirit begins to be in control, then your body is subject to it. That's why you have to have discipline. You go to certain areas in your life, and you know how things happen when you're in that area, you got to stop going in that area. Wisdom tell you, don't go. Can you read 2 and 3? Are you ready for it?
1 Kings chapter 10, verse 23. And it reads, So King Solomon surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. Now all the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. Each man brought his present, articles of silver and gold, garments, armor, spices, horses, and mules, at a set rate year by year. And Solomon,
to hear the wisdom of God through that man, they paid top dollar. Listen, let me help you understand this. When you master your gift, they will pay you top dollar for it. You have to master it. You can't be common. You can't be a jack of the trade. You have to master it. Solomon mastered his gift, and they paid top dollar. They said that he was the richest king, right? Is that what he said? Can we just get the reverse button? Can you go back to verse 11?
Verse 11. And it reads, Also the ships of Hiram, which brought gold from Ophir, brought great quantities of almug wood and precious stones from Ophir. And the king made steps of the almug wood for the house of the Lord and for the king's house, also harps and string instruments for singers. There never again came such almug wood, nor has the like been seen to this day.
Are y'all not understanding? Almug wood was the most expensive wood that you could have in that day. It's how people rave about what they call oak wood. Everybody wants some oak. Give me some oak. Oak lasts a long time. Termites can't eat oak. Yeah, okay. And then termite get hungry and eat whatever. And it said it's never been, to this day, it has never been again, right?
To this day, it has never been again.
He built the stairs of the altar of God with this expensive wood. And then he did the same thing for his kingdom, his house, the palace. What else?
Now King Solomon gave the queen of Sheba all she desired.
Gave her all she desired.
Whatever she asked.
Whatever she asked, she got the wisdom to it.
Besides what Solomon had given her according to the royal generosity. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants.
She and her servants. They got everything they bargained for. Keep reading.
The weight of gold.
I'm only going to deal with this one scripture today. That's it. So we're going to run through this chapter.
Verse 14.
Yes.
The weight of gold that came to Solomon yearly was 666 talents of gold.
Stop right there. That was his payment. That was just through his contract. Read.
Verse 15. Besides that, from the traveling merchants, from the income of traders, from all the kings of Arabia, and from the governors of the country. Verse 16. And King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold. 600 shekels of gold went into each shield.
Went into each shield. He made 200 of them.
Verse 17. He also made 300 shields of hammered gold.
300.
3 minas of gold went into each shield. The king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Verse 18. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. Verse 19.
Stop right there. Ivory. Pure ivory. He made the throne out of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. That means it was at its finest. No derivatives in this gold. It was not cut. It was pure.
Verse 19. The throne had 6 steps, and the top of the throne was round at the back. There were armrests on either side of the place of the seat, and 2 lions stood beside the armrest. 12 lions stood there, one on each side of the 6 steps. Nothing like this had been made for any other kingdom. Verse 21. All King Solomon's drinking vessels were gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. Not one was silver, for this was accounted as nothing in the days of Solomon. Verse 22. For the king had merchant ships at sea with the fleet of Hiram. Once every 3 years, the merchant ships came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. Verse 23.
Yes.
So King Solomon surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. Verse 24. Now all the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. Verse 25. Each man brought his present, articles of silver and gold, garments, armor, spices, horses, and mules, at a set rate year by year. Verse 26.
No, not 26. Oh. You see this? Now do you all get the picture where I say, don't ask God for nothing but wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Solomon did not ask God for stuff, but he got all that stuff. See, you can ask God for $1 million and God give you $1 million, but if you don't have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you'll be broke in less than a year. So you want wisdom. See, when you got wisdom, you'll know how to make money. If you got understanding, you will know that money is a byproduct. You see, it's called barter or trade. The stuff that you spending your money on really don't carry the weight of it. You see? So you can, when you understand trade, you will stop valuing money. Because you can take little stuff out of your house and see that somebody wanted, and you can trade it for something else that's more valuable than the stuff that you traded it for, and then somebody else wants that product, and you trade it because they want it, and you get more, and then you become a trader. Let's stop worrying about money. Hallelujah. I know people that started out with a little bit of nothing, and within a year's time, they had boats, cars, houses, and everything off the trade. No money. Just trading. Hallelujah. Somebody may want this chair right here. This chair may be valuable to them, but to me, it's just a chair. But to them, it's valuable. So I'll see, well, what is it that you have of value that you feel is worth the chair? Now, I can take it or leave it. Because either way it goes, I'm good because I'm not worried about it. This is my chair, I'm good. You want it. So the trade game is that. Learn to trade. When you understand trading, there's not value in this thing that you worked so hard to get. People killing each other over a trade. Listen, it's a piece of paper. It has no value. It only holds the value that you give it. The money, the paper, is backed by gold. Whose gold is it? It's God's gold. So ask him for wisdom on how to get the gold. See, we value gold, and God said gold has no value in heaven. We use it on our streets. You want a diamond? I got diamonds in my door, in my gate, on my fence. God said, y'all don't worry about the wrong stuff. Hallelujah. Understanding the principle of giving to a king. This is why every church, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it this way. This is why the kingdom ministries are struggling. And I hope y'all hear me clearly, and I hope y'all online hear me clearly too. The reason many people don't give to the house of God anymore is because too many crooks have come through there. And it makes it hard for people that are real for God. I had somebody to pose a question to one of the people here and say, what the pastor doing with the money? Because they see me driving a CLS 550 and my wife driving a Porsche. They say, oh, the church is bad. No, the church can't even afford it. My God supplies my need.
That's right. That's right.
The day the church can afford to buy me a Porsche will be the day that we buy a building.
That's right. Teach us. Teach us.
My job is to teach you how to make it in the kingdom of God on earth. Your job is to fulfill that which I'm teaching you. See, I'm already there. I'm trying to get you where I am so that you can see it. People, the moment it comes to offering, and you'll see here in City of Mercy, people don't come to church until after offering. I'm going to start doing offering at the end of the service. I'm not being funny, but you can't come and get the wisdom of God and not give God a gift.
Yes. Yes. Teach us.
I'll read this again for y'all. This is the kingdom principle of giving to to a king. And I want you all to understand, you are not giving me a dime. You are being a partner in this kingdom walk. So, look, it said giving to a king activate the king's obligation to demonstrate his glory and power. Ephesians 3:20 says what? Say it louder. Say that the last part. According to the power that worketh in us. See, but look, watch this. It said he's obligated to demonstrate his glory and power. His power is in you, but it will not be activated until you yield back to him. Said he would do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you, but it will not work until you grab this principle. You need healing? Give him a gift. You need deliverance? Give him a gift. See, we come to God empty-handed too much. I remember, we'll go down here. I remember when Dad Johnson used to minister. He be giving so much wisdom. People will pop up out of his pew all over the church and just run to the altar and lay money at the altar and go back to their seat. Because the wisdom of God was touching them where they were. And they was like, look, I can't take this for free. Yes. And they get up and they say, here. And they lay their gift at the altar and they go back to their seat. Listen, the wisdom of God raised more money than him raising the offering. The power word. He's amazing. It's like a firecracker. A firecracker means nothing until you light it. You can have the firecracker and you can have a pump to light it. But until the two connect, it's still nothing. You got all the components that you need to be successful, but it don't profit you anything until you connect it. That's why the Bible says all things work together. You better put that crazy thing together and let it sting. We complain about what we go through, but it's working together for your good. See, I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle, and all of the pieces work together. If one piece is missing, then the puzzle profit me nothing. You will never get to experience the beauty of the jigsaw with missing pieces. That's what I love about God. It's because he put every piece in you. But we're so lazy that we don't want to put the jigsaw puzzle together. We give it to somebody else and say, you do it. Okay, I'm going to tell you this way then. I'll put it this way so y'all understand what I'm saying. Instead of you fulfilling the idea that God gave you, you'll tell somebody else and they're going to fulfill your idea. That's because you didn't want to do it. You was too lazy. That's why people come over here from this country and they say we're lazy. They say, you Americans are lazy. this prosperity in your land and you don't even take advantage of it. All you do is complain about what somebody else stopped your ancestors from doing. And you still stuck behind what happened to your ancestors when you can make a difference. But how do I make a difference then, man? You got to get back to Elohim. You got to get back. I don't hold over the heads of these other humans that did humans wrong in the early 1500s, 1600s, 1700s. It wasn't them that did it. Our ancestors did it to themselves. Because God said, the day you serve another God, this will happen. Everything in Deuteronomy 28 have come to pass for the copper-colored races. Or should I say the copper-colored nations? Because God didn't make races, he made nations of people. And nations meant that you was over a territory. You wasn't a race, you was a human. And he put certain humans over certain territories, and God called them nations. But this diabolical demon, God allowed to surface the day that our ancestors walked away from him. And here we are, 18,000 years later, still complaining about what is not. When all you got to do is get back to God. Instead of getting back to him, we complain. And then we say, I don't know why I'm going through. Yes, you do. That's a lie from the pit. Because every time I go through, I know what I'm going through. Either I'm going through behind what I did wrong, or what I'm going through is a lesson that I have to learn so that I can help somebody else later on. There's only two reasons that happen. There's a lesson and there's a repercussion. You learn lessons and you get whooped. Shit. So when you're going through, stop talking about I don't know. You either did something wrong or this is a lesson you have to learn. So take it. I'll tell you, I don't like it, but I take it because it ain't my life. This is life. He created me. I didn't create me. So how can I complain about the life that he already foretold? He said, them who I knew I predestined. Predestined. There's nothing in your life from the day that you was born up until now that was not predestined. This moment right now, predestined. You was predetermined by God to be here to hear me say this and your mind thinking what it is right now. It was predetermined. God already knew everything. That's why when he created Adam, he told him, hey, because of what he put in you, he already knew that you was going to go against what he said. So when he said don't, you say I'm going to. See, that's your father's rebellion. Don't do that, and you do it anyway. Don't go over there, and you go over there. Don't talk to him, and you talk to him anyway. Don't go talk to her, and you talk to her anyway. Don't get that job that's bad for you, and you get it anyway. It's your nature. And that's why God put a plan in place because of your sinful nature. That's why Jesus died long before the world began. If he didn't, the Bible would have never said it. It says it in Revelations. Behold, the Lamb of God, who was slain before. So he died before the world began. When we say he died 2,000 years ago, but the Bible says something contrary to our analogies and our theology. You should have got that scripture when you finish it. So we got to get out.
Verse 26, and it reads, And Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he stationed in the chariot cities and with the king at Jerusalem. Verse 27, The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and he made cedar trees as abundant as the sycamores which are in the lowland. Verse 28, Also Solomon had horses imported from Egypt and Cuba. The king's merchants bought them in Cuba at the current price. Verse 29, Now a chariot that was imported from Egypt cost 600 shekels of silver, and a horse 150. And thus, through their agents, they exported them to all the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Syria.
Did you hear what he just said in the scripture? How much did he pay for the horses in Egypt?
He paid 150
for a horse of silver. But in his country, silver had no value. So they got a horse for food. The trade. See, the silver was valuable to them. But to them, it has no value. You see the difference when I say about trade? Wisdom. Wisdom. You don't need money. You need wisdom. If Bill Gates gave you access to his account, gave you a card, you would be stupid. You'll go just buy step by 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 step. Not one investment. You see? You got access to billions, and you'll just go boom in the hood, boom, big wheels, boom, boom, got diamonds on the finger, gold chain hanging down. See, it's a stereotype mentality that the enemy gave us. You want to keep them down, give them some shiny things. That's why you see, the first time a young copper-colored person gets some money, the first thing you do, bling out. Go bling it out for them. Go make some investments. Go do something to make money make you. Huh? Make that money, man. Let that money come. You sitting up here, you blowing it on this and blowing it on that, and it has no value. Ask the king for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Never ask him for material things. Because you have to remember, you are created in the characteristics of God. God never made anything out of the material. He started with raw. When God wanted a plant, he spoke to some ground that had no idea that a plant was supposed to come forth. When he wanted a fish, he spoke to some water. And the water created a fish. Making sense to you now? characteristics of God. Why you just letting them abilities go to waste? Why? Why do you live your life on the edge, and when somebody get out of character with you, you look for it. You're like, thank you, I can get this off. Really? Hate produces hate. But when you don't give hate what hate wants, then hate will leave and go somewhere else where it's wanted. They had this whole saying, I had to correct this guy. He tried to correct me, but I corrected him. I said, each one, teach one. He said, no, man, it's each one, reach one. I said, if you reach me, that's all you can do is reach me. I said, but if I teach you, see, that's why most leaders fail, because they never teach. They want to reach. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather give you something for a lifetime than to reach you for a Sunday morning service. Let me teach you something. Let me teach you how to live. Let me show you how to make your money work for you. So tell God, I wake up every day. God, thank you for the wisdom that I asked for. Every day, God, I thank you for the wisdom. And every day, He blows my mind with new ideas and new things that He gives me. And I'm like, oh. I said, oh, wait, they get a load of me. But God said, I'm going to keep you hidden for right now. I said, okay, I'm good. I stayed hid. I don't know what I said about you today. He passed away 10 years, 11 years. Since 99, I sat up under him in 99, he passed away in 2009. I sat up under him. Everybody in the church was getting preaching engagements. And God said, no, I'm keep you hidden. I'll keep you hidden. And one day he called, I was at his house and we was watching television. Let me close this because I'm done. You can close that Bible too, but I'm done. I'm going to tell them again on this story. Give some people something to go and run and tell today. Oh, they're going to run and tell this one. But I don't care that the devil is defeated. God is defeated. I'm walking in victory. But while I was at his house, this was a year, well, it was about a year before he passed, and we were sitting down in the family room, and we was talking. I believe it was a year before he passed. Maybe a year or two before, and I was just sitting there, we was watching Cowboys. I love cowboy movies. I used to watch them with my dad. And then he loved to watch cowboys, and I'm like, cool, let's watch some cowboys. And we was watching the cowboy movie, and all of a sudden the prophetic gift that God gave him opened up. And he said, son, God just told me to tell you to be encouraged. Don't worry about them that are out preaching and you're not. He said, God said He's putting His word deep inside of you. And He said, when God releases you, your ministry will be second to none. He said, you mark my words that God is speaking today, son. He said, every last one of the ministries that I've taken off before you, He said, when God releases you, you will see a decline in their ministries while yours is incline. Yeah. The prophetic voice of God is coming to pass.
Hallelujah.
Where they say that I was going to fail, God prevailed. Where they tried to sabotage and cause the ricochet, and they were sabotaged. See, because the Bible said that He will ricochet the fiery darts of the devil. He will cause them to boomerang back to where they came from. See, people, I got to understand that your words, they are boomerang. And I say this, and I want you to understand what I say when I say boomerang. Because when your words go up towards a true man or woman of God, those words will come back to you. But if you meet somebody that's not true about it, then those words will stick to that person that you talk about. But when you talk about a true man and woman of God, those words will come back at you. It's a ricochet boomerang. I mean, it literally, bounce off and go right back to you. So I tell you, that's why I've been teaching this for the last 5 years. Be careful what you allow to come out your mouth, because you don't know who you're talking about. You don't know what's in my future. You don't know what's in the person's future next to you. You don't know who's connected to the king. That's why the Bible says in Psalm 119 that God only knows you. That's why you got to be careful. Shut your mouth. If you don't understand it, shut up. Shut up. Now, I understand we all have a comical side and we see stuff and we all laugh about it. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when you start initially bluntly talking about that person. We can laugh on blunders and bloopers. We're going to laugh. Hallelujah. See, don't make me be like Pastor Ron. Is anything Pastor Ron? Pastor Jim. Don't make me be like Pastor Jim, y'all. See, he wasn't Pastor Jim. He was just Jim that day. See, Jim started talking to his congregation, and he started telling people where they was and how to get on the bus and how to get off the bus. See, because some of us need to get on the short bus. Hallelujah. Ain't nothing wrong. Listen, understanding where you are, the Bible says to thyself be true. You know you ride the short bus, stop trying to get on the big bus. Can we walk up all the stairs? Oh, Jesus, help us. Help us all today, Lord. So, did I help you all understand